Amigos de América Latina y el Caribe, muy buenos días, sean todos bienvenidos. Hoy muy feliz de que estén con
Friends
nosotros.
from Latin America and Caribbean, most welcome. This is the most important event of the year. Before we start, just to know where you listening to, you can please come to the chat and tell us where you are hearing and coming with us together. In a moment, we are going to start, and we are seeing the different countries that are coming with us. This country, this is very, very fast. Wonderful Brazil, Lima, Peru, Puerto Rico, the island, wonderful Venezuela. We are delighted to see you, and we are most happy to see that you are here. Did you know that 85% of risk professionals we hope to see new pandemics? Which impact does it has on the risk and safety at the workplace? We are going to try to answer these and other questions. Thank you so much for being with us. Keep connected, be comfortable. Please adjust your sound. You can listen in many ways. We can see people from Brazil, Colombia, Fortaleza, Brazil. How wonderful. Hello, Gustavo. Greetings from Chile. Lilian Flores from Ciudad de México.
Medellín, Colombia, qué bueno.
Medellín, Colombia, how wonderful. My people from Medellín, Belo Horizonte, Brazil. Good morning, everybody. And remember that today we are going to speak about 75% of organizations think that the risks related to talent management are a serious threat to companies. It's one of the issues we are going to develop today. Again, we are delighted to be with you in this event of today. São Paulo, Brazil, Camila, how wonderful to see you. How wonderful to have all of you together with us in symphony with this important webinar, so important for us and for our organization. Among other things, they can tell you that today 73% of organizations has suffered at least one cyber attack this last year. The human factor is one of the reasons of these breaks, and we are going to see with our experts, and thanks again to connect with us and come with us this morning.
Saludos desde República Dominicana.
Greetings from the Dominican Republic. Greetings from Colombia. Luis Torres, bienvenido. From Torreón, Mexico. Great people from Mexico.
Pues muy bien, sin más preámbulos, mis estimados amigos.
With any else, our dear friends from Latin America and the Caribbean, good morning. Be welcome to this regional webinar, People Risk 2022, a space we have created to share with you the results of our annual report of People's Risk.
Tenga en cuenta.
Please take in account, before we start, you must know that we have simultaneous translation in the bottom part of your screen. You can find the button to select the language you prefer. Can be Spanish, Portuguese, or English. From this moment on, your microphones, please keep them silent, and all your questions, please, through the Q&A section at the bottom of your screens. Afterwards, in this conference, we are going to invite you to break up in sessions, in specific sessions for Chile, Brazil, and Colombia. If you are not in one of those sessions, doesn't matter. We are going to stay in this main session for the consolidated results of Latin America and the Caribbean. At the end of the session, we will have a Q&A part If you need any technical assistance, you can always
que encontrará
write through the chat to any member of the panel. And there you can send a message to all panelists. Remember that this event is being recorded and you will receive the repetition. And so now I let you with Ricardo Almeida, our general leader, much better for benefits in the region. Good morning. Thank you so much. I like so much for being here. And as we are going to be in a very special session, today I can share in my 5 minutes some of the issues and the dimensions we have. Afterwards, we are going to have a panel with professionals, great friends from Globant and Amazon, that is going to be so important to listen from them in good company. And then we are going to go into some countries like Brazil, Mexico, and Chile, where we are going to share if you want to discuss in the local language. But here in the main session, you can have simultaneous translation and you can keep on talking on the main issues. So we start with this video. We are more than 500 people with us. And so let's start. The world is changing. We are living a new normal. Society has changed and now expectations too. What does it mean for your company? Working from home is usual. Manage colleagues from another place is difficult. And the war for talent becomes harder. Today, health and well-being is more important, and whatever happened in the past will not work in the future. There are many challenges to which employers are confronting, but also many opportunities for the labor force and for your business to become more resilient. It's time to review the risk of people. Our 5 of this panel, people related, like the people that are losing energy, increasing the cost of benefits, cybernetic risk, difficult to attract, retain, and participation of talent, environment. This is the first study that considers the risk from the human resources perspective, and the leaders need to consider their implications for the organizations. We can help you have a vision. Please download our free report, Mercer Mark Benefits, benefit that benefit.
Okay, great. So I hope everyone had the opportunity of downloading the report. We have a global report, which is very complete, and a regional report. And basically, what do we need to do with people's risk? We have a poll that we carried out annually, every 2 years. This is the second year we've carried it out, and it seeks to understand better which are the 25 most risks affecting companies nowadays. And apart from cyber and mental health, diversity and inclusion, or the changes in work, there are some others. We are looking at all regions, and especially we have also included Chile, Peru, Brazil, Colombia, and Mexico. And we are further expanding. We have about 500 people in the region who work within those 5 pillars: safety and security, governance, the acceleration of digitization, talent management practices, and environment, and the social part. Go ahead, Gustavo, please, and we will interact with you today. So from the pillars that we are based on from this study, in your opinion, which are the most or the biggest risks in your company?
Sí, ahora encima de su pantalla podrán ver una opción que les
We have
permitirá.
the pillars here on screen.
Y vamos a ver rápidamente qué tanta resonancia tienen estos pilares dentro de su
So let's see quickly which resonance these pillars have within your preferences at the time of
Ahí
revising
ustedes podrán
the
ver y
topic
estamos
of
viendo
security of people.
ya tenemos más de 150
Let's see how you vote here. We have more than 150 answers already. So which are the pillars or the risk factors that you consider are the most important in the company?
Vamos llegando a las 300 votaciones.
Let's
Vamos a
see all the votes.
un momento más para conocer su opinión sobre
And let's see your opinion on this subject.
Estamos por alcanzar ya los 350 personas
We will reach 350 people participating in our poll, our quick poll, and this will enable us to see the prevalence of these results in the preferences at the level of importance of your company of these pillars.
Queda poco tiempo. Vamos a dejarla por 10 segundos más.
Okay, maybe 10 more seconds.
Muy bien. Vamos a ver los resultados. Vamos a compartirlos en pantalla.
And let's share the results on screen.
Resulta ser
We
el
can
gran
see safety and security. It is the winner with 66% of participation.
cerca, ¿no? De
And then followed by talent management practices with 30%, governance and finance 24%, digitization 21%, and environment and social 20%. Thank you all for participating, and let's go back to Ricardo.
Me sorprende un poquito esos resultados.
Okay, I'm a bit surprised by these results, but I kind of agree, and there's a good mixture in Latin America. Let's go to the next question, please. So we will see now the dimension of the studies from what you can see, and what is important to understand here. Within the 5 risks, we have divided them in 2 dimensions. On the upper part, we see the greatest impact. So if we see risk and human resources, they believe that the biggest impact can be of a cyber attack. But if we go to the right side, where we call the greatest odds, we can see that administrative topics and fiduciary topics are the ones that imply more risk in Latin America. When we look at Latin America, we have a good mixture. And I'm interested to say that the environment issues here are 18% of importance. Why is so? Is this so? Well, if we have the topic of environment, which was voted within the 5 top topics in the rest of the world, and within the 10 most important topics, we have other countries that participated in the environment on kind of the top list. So this is an important mix, and we will focus specifically on why we chose this in our individual talks. Another topic which is important to us, and which was surprising also, if we look at the bottom part in 3.4, we will see health issues, mental health. Right now, it's in number 20. Why has this fallen so sharply compared to last year? The good news in Latin America is that 70% of companies believe that we have done a good work connected with exhaustion at work. So people wearing out, we are doing well compared to the mean globally, which is between 60 and 40%. Let's go ahead, Gustavo, please. Okay. And the other dimension here would be the vision of human resources against that of risk management people. What we see in violet here, if we look at the violet part, we will see that there are more topics connected with talent, the violet part, talent management practices in the area of risk in our environment, in our work environment, and also retention of talents, which is around number 10 in the polls of risk managers compared to the people in human resources. So it's not honestly human resources against risk managers, but the latter are working more and more with human resources lately. They have been working hand in hand, and the human talents are an important topic in companies nowadays. Then we will further go deeper into this. And we also have the fact of how to compare globally, regionally, and within countries. All this, there are cultural topics, social topics, regulatory topics that have an impact on this, but we can see that cyber is the first worry for everyone, almost everyone. But as we go down, maybe this changes. Maybe in Chile, the fiduciary administration part is one of the top issues. And in Mexico, which has been highly impacted by the pandemic, they are worried about the pandemic in the market. So we will go deeper into each of the countries. Next slide. Just to think about this, maybe we can think of some important data. For example, 85% of risk professionals nowadays are awaiting other pandemics within the short or long run. Some other people in human resources do that as well, but almost 50% of companies have effective communication policies to promote health. So this would be a great opportunity that we should seize in order to work and differentiate ourselves from other companies. In the global talent of Mercer, we saw that well-being is one of the ROIs of the company. So if we go to the practices of talent, we will see that 75% of organizations in Latin America and the Caribbean have the risk of keeping their talent. So the fact that people are quitting all the time, the same as what happened in the US, there are some risks. But there are also some changes among people. I mean, what kind of employees do we need? What areas do we need to hire employees for in order to grow? 33%, as we can see here, 33% of companies believe they have the people that can manage an accelerated digitization. But this comes with a high risk, cyber risk. We can now turn to different panelists so that they can tell us which areas they have thought about with these topics. So let's start right now with Rosa Maria and Silvina. Well, I know that they don't need an introduction, but well, I would like to say that Rosa Maria graduated in the North America University with a nutrition degree, and that is super important in Latin America.
He's a master in humanistic studies, and he has 10 certifications in Cornell, in specialization in Harvard, and from Mercer College. Last 15 years, he has improved the value proposal for employees and has increased the employee engagement in Amazon and others. Currently, she is in charge of the benefit Latam team for Amazon, guaranteeing the sustainability of the business and improve the employees' experience to improve, to try to become the best employer on earth. And also we have Rosa Maria. She's the creator of employee networks in many networks, and also collaborated with Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, and Tech from Monterrey. Everyone who knows Rosa Maria, we love to work with her. And Silvina, she has a different profile, and most interesting, she has a wide experience as business leader in technological business and in oil and gas. She's a chartered accountant and has a postgraduate in artificial intelligence, and she's the head of risk in Globant, and she manages corporate insurance, health, and life, and she has been in charge of human resources, control, risk, and ESG,
Bienvenidas, mi panelistas.
ICT. Most welcome, our panelists. I'm delighted to be with you. And we start with you, Rosa Maria.
Funciona para las dos, ¿no?
And it's true that it works for both.
Todos esos riesgos de los estudios
and seeing all these things, these people risk, are those in cohesion with the practices you are seeing in your own companies?
Rosa Maria, adelante, por
Rosa
favor.
Maria, please, the floor is yours. Thank you, Ricardo. And certainly, yes, when we are seeing the data being shared by you, it helps us see
con lo que nosotros estamos
it
viviendo.
resonates with what we are living today.
La pandemia llegó y
The
llegó para
sure pandemic came and changed the way we work, and now we are used to work in our distribution centers and offices, and we have had to adapt to these changes. People from business, from offices, are going to home, which we were not used to do. But the most interesting thing is how we are going to take care of our people in distribution centers during pandemic. We have an important growth, and we had the responsibility of taking care of our people and of our clients. So we couldn't stop, and we took the task of defining how we were going to take care of our employees, that of course are the most important asset for us. We established everything about health, the using of personal protection equipment, to ensure that everything of our clients who were going to receive their packages the same day or day after. So it was very important change. Thanks God we made it well. No distribution center was closed, and we had no serious threat to our employees' health. Something very important for us, and you were underlining was cyber. We went all home, and how are we going to define and guarantee the safety of our information? Once we are a tech company, we also focus a lot to take care that we were not damaged by any cyber attack, and all employees would have the best safety protocols to be able to keep on going. We are so delighted to see you are worried about clients, employees, and of course cyber, not just with you, with your own company, but with all the suppliers, because we need to have suppliers that give us safety when working with them. And what about Globant? How are you looking to this kind of risk? How are you working in your talent area? Can you please tell us a bit more? And you that have been working a lot of time in human resources, and recently you went to risk, perhaps you can have a wide vision of this business. Delighted. Thank you for the invitation and for this space to share together with Rosa Maria. I think that the most important vision I can share as leader is that we are an organization that having the ability to learn. And this happened with the pandemic, but happens every day with all organizations. We need to learn and to de-learn. And what you are mentioning about this experience, I can share 18 years, or perhaps more,
áreas de finanzas.
in different finance areas, and suddenly I am called from Globant, and the person who get in touch with me asked me to enlarge my knowledge, having this new vision with opportunities in the human resources way, to which I thank so much to having this vision and having talent and being very close to human resources and looking for the resource we need urgently. And during the last years, I started working with risk with a more global image, seeing all the business process of the organizations very much aligned with what Rosa Maria is saying. The challenge that we have today is to inspire our talent and listening to them and all of those that takes part in the organization. Perhaps for those that are working a long time ago, we can spend a lot of time from home. It seems so strange, and it needed something alien like the pandemic that from March 2020 on, we were all sent home, and it was possible to do it. And today, with that, we learn as an organization that we can adapt and we can generate many changes. And these changes, it's so important that technology come with us, because the technology enabling the process to our talents. And which way? From the health, which was a matter of interest, we created it from day one, and we created a committee with a focus on internet, what is happening in every country, learn from those needs, learn from the needs of our people in Mexico and Peru, and Argentina and Colombia, in the United States, whatever place our workers, and of course, and that health and systems are so important, going up to platforms, but there are still a support to be given to them. To make it closer, not just the commercial, but all the process in a place that is far away from home. All that can be done, and from Globant, those we are taking a great attention to the opportunities to the career, to giving each one, to inspire the talents, to having the right benefits. Because if you provide a service of high risk, of high quality, you also want to give back a benefit that is valued and is required in each country. So it's so important to be flexible as leaders, to listen and consider the needs of people. So great. And I think that leadership and culture, the structure, the strategy we need to have, the empathy that we need to have with people. And this world is becoming more inclusive.
We are more inclusive every day, day after day, and Globant and Amazon, and the fact that they have that culture of inclusion is key. And another question, Silvina. We know that we have rights and then challenges and everything we have gone through over these 3 years. So how should we implement different initiatives, and what was the greatest obstacle you found in the implementation of these challenges and threats that we faced within your initiatives in Globant of the risk part? In the risk part, I think I have mentioned this. One of the key indicators is the part of cyber looking at it from the importance of having or paying attention to information, not only from an area within the organization, which could be the safety area, but also from the awareness of each glober, wherever they are, to know that we needed to, all of us jointly take care of information. And this is a kind of training that we, from the part of risk, need to carry out, but the whole organization as a whole should do it similarly. I mean, to pay attention and know that we are part of something bigger. This is not an exogenous part, but the safety part is not on its own. And this is a relevant topic for us. From the risk point of view, I know that that was violet, color violet in your slide, but talent and talent management is for us in Globant, and from the risk point of view, key. Our company in its DNA seeks for all Globers to keep on choosing Globant constantly, and they choose it with a word that is key for us, and it is the culture of Globant. Our culture, equality, we have some value propositions. For example, some of them, the ones that we present, are inclusion of 50% of women and non-binary people in management positions in the company. So there's a commitment we have taken already towards that. Or in environmental issues, I know that was like top 3 or top 4 from the ones you mentioned. We have an active commitment to topics of the environment because we believe that the talent of organizations request for this, and we consider that something very valuable. And also what we were saying of allocating and listening to our Globers, I mean, what they consider to be valuable for the organization, and in order to customize what they need, and from the point of view of risk, as similarly as what you were saying, connected with human resources and with the needs of our talent, we should come up with ideas and be flexible towards change, to adapt and take care of information and data that is really relevant. Well, thank you so much, Silvina, and these are the jewels of the crown, so we should take care of information and the data so that the company keeps on growing. Congrats to Globant and everything they do from risk and from talent. Thank you so much. Rosa Maria, from the area of human resources, what are you looking at as the main obstacles? Rosa Maria, we cannot listen to you. Maybe you're muted.
Aquí. Bien, creo que aquí está Rosa María nuevamente. Hola, Rosa María.
Okay, here is Rosa Maria. Hello, we had some technology issues, but we are good now. So how are you? For you, Rosa, what are the main obstacles in human resources with the implementation of these initiatives in Amazon? In Amazon, we have detected two main, maybe not obstacles, but areas of opportunity that we've got to grow. One of them is the risk of cybersecurity. Because for us, it's been complex to find providers or suppliers or partners, business partners that comply with the standards of safety that Amazon requests. So when we are thinking of the benefits or value propositions for employees, not only do we need to think of that, but also having vendors or partners who comply with that, who will not endanger us or be at risk of suffering from a cybersecurity attack. That is key for us. And then the other one would be connected with our talent, the possibility, and as Silvina said, of listening to what they need as employees, as people. In each of the countries, we have realized that the idea of one size fits all is not working, not as a region, neither as a country or as people. So the fact that we need to listen to our employees and we need to see how to provide them with benefits that make a difference in their lives at the moment of their lives is key to us. So to know what our employees are saying and design our strategy according to that. That is of paramount importance. And the same as we design that card in Amazon where you can find anything that is interesting or valuable for you, that is our idea with our employees as well, to enable them to enter our platform and choose what makes sense to them in their lives from now on. So talent and talent retention and our people is key, and that is what makes the DNA of Amazon retail. This is definitely what we want to provide, what is important for our people. And also, as Silvina said, the fact that they want to be with us, that they want to be Amazonians, and that they want to be part of the transformation that we are creating in the world. Okay, so after listening and listening to you as experts of these topics, I think the whole audience could just remain here talking. And well, I think we are glad to be closing this part of the session. Let's go to the next part where we are going to talk about the specific topics of Brazil, Chile, and Mexico. And you'll have the possibility of entering each room. The people who want to continue with us with Latin America topics, we will stay here. I'll remain here with Juan for the Latin America part. Thank you so much, Rosa Maria and Silvina, for being with us today, and the session was great. Yeah,
thank you
to our
so much for
panelists.
the wonderful panelists, Silvina, Rosa Maria. As we are saying, from this moment on, please keep in account that we want to invite, whether with your experts, if you are in Brazil, Chile, or Mexico, to deepen with your expert with the specific results on those countries. If you are not in any of those countries, or you want to see the consolidated results for Latin America and the Caribbean, we invite you to come here. And here we are going to stay together with Ricardo and Juan Carlos, seeing the consolidated results. How can we go? First, if you want to go to the other sessions, we are going to start with Chile. So if you can go, if you are going to Chile, if you are going to this country, I want to see the specific details and the chat. We are going to share a link where you can join the session from Chile. That is the same that you are seeing on screen. And so there we are going to have this session only in Spanish. When you make a click, you will have a message saying go and join, and then you click on join and leave and join, and you can go into the specific session for Chile. If for any reason you get lost, you keep disconnected, please come back to this link, and from here we are going to help you try finding your way to the specific Chilean or your own country. Same procedure with the next step to Mexico. In the chat, you can see this link, the same that is on screen, giving you access to that session.
Por favor, si usted está en México,
for a session in Mexico in Spanish. If you are in Mexico, use this link and so can share with our specialists the results and findings.
Y finalmente,
focus on your country.
vamos a dar
And
repaso.
not less important, we are going to go to the Brazilian session. In Brazil, there will be no problem because the session will be done in Portuguese. So our specialists in Brazil will be with you for Brazil in Portuguese. In this moment at the chat, you can find the link accessing the Brazilian session. Again, please take in account in the chat you are having 3 alternatives from people from Chile. There is one link for Chile, another one for Mexico, so you can share with double click to see all this information with the information for Mexico, and finally the double click for the Brazilian session. If anything happens and you lose your connection, you can come back to this using the link you used to join us, 9 o'clock Colombia time.
Y nosotros aquí vamos a volverlo a ayudar a volver.
And here we are going to help you go back to your own session, to the one you are willing to join. Okay?
Cuando usted se conecte desde su computadora.
Once you join from your computer or cell phone, you will see in your screen, leave to join a new meeting. Please click in the option leave and join, and automatically it will take you to the session you are willing to participate.
De Latinoamérica y el Caribe, lo invito a que se quede ahí donde está.
Unless you are willing to share and to know the consolidated results for Latin American legal reading, where we are going to follow our session. So if you want to follow with us, and if not, you go to your own sessions, and it's perfect. We are some 200 people in the other ones, and here we are more than 400. Let's go on. We only have 20 minutes. So, Gustavo, we go to the other ones. We are going to deepen, but I want to go forward. Which are the main points?
Para mencionar algunos puntos.
Only to put forward some points.
Interesantes para América Latina fue del mundo. América Latina salió por arriba.
Latin America.
Administración y fiduciarios.
Management and fiduciary are over the world worry because we have many regulatory problems. And we have very specific problems.
De empleados, de accidentes de trabajo, y especialmente en Chile. Entonces tenemos una dentro de América Latina que realmente y de seguir las entonces creo que esto impactó mucho.
This had a great impact.
Por arriba y porque
in environment we are also on top because the last years we have been having weather problems in Miami. We have many crises. There were more than 170 national disasters in these countries, and 88% were climate risks because of global warming, CO2 accumulation, pandemic also had a huge impact.
Mismo con los créditos, con
the same with credit and all
seguimos con la emisión de CO2.
Financial issues. We keep increasing CO2 emission, and here in Latin America, we are quite worried.
Entonces, imagínate que respirar un aire limpio.
And imagine the environment. If we can breathe a clean air, but in Chile, Brazil, Mexico, we have pollution problems that are very serious.
Adelante, Gustavo, para
So let's go forward, Gustavo.
de la
See
otra parte.
other issues.
Próxima pantalla, por favor.
Next, please.
Y entonces cuando miramos, ¿cuáles
And
son las
so when we look, which are the main barriers
de las
for
iniciativas?
implementation of initiatives?
Realmente los temas de personas, ¿no? Entonces, si miramos
Mainly people from
salud y seguridad, también en los temas de las
issues of health and safety, talent practices,
de las acciones de las
and
personas.
this is so difficult to change mentality and thinking. Even in matters of digitalization, I work a lot with the sales teams of MNC and always looking to employees whether they use all the digital tools we have and to use the information. In many cases, companies have this huge challenge of cultural change and personal change, and if we are able to make this, will be a huge impact. Matters of culture are very, very important, and also the organizational complexity. More and more organizations are so complex, and it's so important to simplify, to look for the results we look for. How can we make it in a simpler way and using rightly the budget? Because we need to increase the budget, but we are not thinking enough in long term in the digital matters, for example. Very often we are thinking too often in the short term, but changing this would be most interesting. So we are going to share a bit about strategies, the specific strategies to take advantage this data, not only to share this data, but also to look forward to the future. Please, Juan, welcome.
Muy complacido de poder acompañarlos y más en este estudio.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with you today, especially here where we are mixing up risks and talent topics to get a comprehensive vision. So at the very beginning, we talked about the 5 pillars of this poll, and one of them is PD digitization, and then topics connected with safety and health at work. The first one is an accelerated digitization. We can see that there are 5 risks connected with this: cybersecurity, automation, technology obsolescence, the strategy of the disadjustment between companies and HR, and the skills obsolescence. And here I would like to leave a first message, which is the need for understanding all these risks, which goes hand in hand, or they are interconnected, they go hand in hand. So it's important to have an approach of this comprehensive view. For example, if we talk about skills obsolescence, we should be aware of the fact that we should have one collaborator or worker develop certain skills so that they will have better aware of the safety. So when they don't have certain skills, we have some vulnerability connected with the area of safety. And this happens with phishing, for example, where we can get an email or something. People can access our passwords and they can enter sensitive information of the company, of the organization. So the key message is to have a comprehensive approach to all these risks. If we go to the next slide, please. I would like to focus on cybersecurity specifically. And if we look at the title, it says that the risks of people are behind cybersecurity incidents. This can be translated in the fact that we can have control over technology, but if we don't work with human talents, we have a great vulnerability. Here, I would like to share some statistics with you. 73% of organizations working in this or participating in this poll have experimented some kind of cyber attack. So 100% of companies are exposed and will be living under these attacks. Then 40% of companies confirm that they need to improve their cyber hygiene, which translates in a greater awareness of the necessity of working with these topics. Many people are getting involved with these risks, issues, and resilience. So this is telling us that there's greater awareness in companies, but the big question we would ask is, well, how can we approach this? In one of the intervention of these panelists, one of them told us about the fact that we are talking about the behavior of people. If we work with those behaviors, then we should develop our culture. And how do we develop this culture? There are some elements for this. The first one would be the necessity for the management to be involved in this topic so that this is part of their agenda. Which is the risk that worries us the most? What will we be focusing on in matters of technology? Because in the top management, we should be involved in this. Secondly, investment. Some consulting groups calculate that 2% of a budget of any company in any sector should be destined to cyber security topics. In finance, in banking, maybe it could be 5%, but the greatest message is that if this is the greatest risk, we should invest in this and see where we make these investments effective. And the third branch is the understanding of risk, to understand what are the vulnerabilities within our organization and look at our vulnerability and see how much it represents in finance so as to materialize this risk. More specifically, which actions we should take in order to mitigate risk. Maybe a treatment or transfer, such as having a policy connected with cybersecurity. That is our first pillar. Then if we turn to the second pillar, the one that was rated as the greatest interest by you. Let's go to the next slide, Gustavo, please.
We are speaking about health and safety at work. These are the 5 risks we are seeing at the right hand, with health, people exhausted, safety, occupational health and safety is the same situation. We need to approach in an integral way. We need to consider the exhaustion of our people, a bigger susceptibility to have accidents and chronic health conditions. It's very important to consider the mental health. And mental health, as in cyber, we have triple the claims in mental health. Is something is happening. If we see the numbers from different countries, what is happening is in some countries there were double mental health claims. So here, we need to put a great interest. And it's very important. Mental health can be a blind spot because there is some taboo. That is, every person during her life will have some issues of mental health. We need to be aware and to accept. The other thing is in organizations, we can start identifying symptoms, not being present, lessening productivity, having situation without other workmates or bosses, but behind this, there's a huge situation. So we need to approach these more than mental health. We need to consider health as an integral issue. And I take the health definition of WHO as a well-being state, both physical, mental, and emotional. If you are going to work in mental health, you need to consider all the health components, emotional and physical, and need like abuse of alcohol, other substance, matters of domestic violence. The message is always, if we want to approach mental health, we have to have an integral physical and emotional issues of people. And last, we want to share, we need to have the way of approaching, always through technical ways like surveillance, that we can identify some symptoms using survey, of course, fully confidential, that can allow to define some situations and having specific programs inside the organization. This is what we were willing to share with you. Ricardo, give you back the floor. Thank you so much, Juan. And we have data about all the data you can be interested. And these are the issues of the initial voting. As a conclusion, the integration of people in the risk strategy is more important than ever. The technology and issues, everything is related. We need to identify not just the risks of today or the past, but mainly to the future risk. And there to analyze, to monitor, to implement, and keep on going, and keep you the last 5 minutes for Q&A. I know we have talked a lot, but I'm delighted.
Gracias, Ricardo. Muy bien, pues en su pantalla aparecerá
in your screen, you will see
una pequeña encuesta y es
a small survey whether you would like to review with you how the people risks have an impact in your company.
Muy bien, vemos que vamos
corriendo. Go forward with the...
En el nivel de votación y todo lo que hemos visto hoy, esto digamos que es una aproximación muy ejecutiva.
This is the first and very executive approach. For each pillar, there are many visions and blind spots definitions. So we would like to
que nosotros los
know whether you would like to take in charge, get in touch with you to discuss this risk. While we wait, there was a question. We are worried about pandemics, matters of health, and what can we do? How can we strengthen the health issues? And the answer is yes. We have many, many things to do. We know that the cost of health is having a great impact. The health insurance, especially with inflation, health-related inflation is double with the mean. So there's also a matter of cost, but more than cost, what are we doing to improve health of employees? Which investment are we doing? The employees' quality of life, so they can have a good return for companies. So we have to consider the pandemics, which learning are we doing, and seeing here, how are we doing this? So we are here delighted to speak with you about these issues?
Aquí hay una persona que nos ha escrito varios
This is a very specific question
panel de preguntas y respuestas y hace una pregunta muy
through the
interesante sobre
Q&A.
dice, ¿qué se
And
puede
ask,
hacer en las organizaciones, empresas?
what can we do?
¿Qué se está haciendo? Algunos ejemplos.
And what is being done?
Buenísimo, Gustavo. Bien, uno inicial, ¿no? Cuando
One initial point, when pandemic started,
asistencia, ¿no? En la
and the
salud,
matter of attending physical work,
implementaron los
many companies
programs, ¿no? Entonces,
started with assistant programs
los programas de asistencia a los empleados, ¿no? Entonces,
to
muchos sí.
employees assistance, and so there have been hotline, but in many cases, they went deeper,
Mirar toda la parte
finding out what can we do.
algo nuevo que
The other day, there was some new thing,
mental,
which is mental economy. For example, my team
de médicos estábamos
of
explicando
physicians
no está
were speaking about brains are not available for 30-minute meeting and then go to another 30-minute meeting. There was a matter of mental exhaustion. So there must be a mental economy to make easier for brains to reset, take some rest, speak with people,
la importancia de
and
alimentación,
to learn from them what we see from about mental health, to have a good sleep, to have the necessary sleep time. There are many programs we can implement in this area. But what I wanted to join, and we have some answers.
De 164 personas de 300.
We have 164 people that want to get in touch with us, and 83% please get in touch with us. I would like to go deeper about how this risk can affect my company, and 17% that not. So we have worked some way, and we can make a big difference to people's life. So we are together with you, and with the purpose to improve people's quality of life and improve business result, and to decrease and manage risk in the best way. So we have been delighted to be with you, and we look forward to the next meetings. And thank you so much. Please take in account there has been a recording, and you will have this recording in a few days, and you can also have this report in your own country page. Thank you so much to share with us these webinars. This has been a presentation of most benefit that truly benefit. Have a very good day.